Minutemen ready? Hey everybody, I'm Michael with Asymmetrical Preparedness. Just donned this stuff. I haven't worn it in a while on camera to illustrate a point. A lot of people are talking, from what I've seen, I don't watch much YouTube, but here and there, from what I've seen, people are talking about this kind of stuff and getting ready. There's a lot of trouble on the horizon. I mean, there usually is. So, I'm not saying it's like imminent, but we never know when it might be imminent. First, I'll let you know of a little personal fail because I'm transparent like that. We all make mistakes. None of us are perfect. No matter how well trained you are, how well practiced you are, how ready you are, you still make mistakes. So what was mine? So I have kind of been taking a mental break for a while of the whole prepping and, what's going on and keeping track of stuff. And, I was getting that burnout point. So I had to take a step back a little bit, not step all the way off the field, but to kind of take a step back. And so I hadn't been worrying as much about like threats and potential threats and stuff like that. So my personal fail is this is always ready in a position close to me, readily available, good to go. This is also supposed to be readily accessible at all times because this is part of my Minuteman gear. I will, if I have to jump out of bed in the middle of the night, I grab this, don it, grab this, put it on. If I have time, I'll throw my belt on and maybe a little pack, usually a little day pack. I'll grab my little day pack. It has a couple days worth of food in it, some water, some bare bone basics. So if I had to run out and do the things, people always say that when I talk about kit, well, you don't have any water on there. I promise you, I always have water. I'm not an idiot. Been there, done that in the military. So, yeah. This plate carrier was not readily accessible. I went to look for it to do this video yesterday, and I couldn't find it. What in the world? Major fail on my part. Well, just not that long ago, we had reorganized some areas and some stuff in the area where this resides, and we stacked up stuff in front of it. I knew the two locations where it always was. It was either there or there. And I didn't think that it was down there and it got covered up with stuff, but it had. I was looking everywhere. I was really getting frustrated to the point, and I couldn't believe that I had failed that major. But it happens. We all do. So I remedied the situation, located it. Now it's back where it should be, ready to go. But do you need to be ready to go at a minute's notice? If you feel that you will be in that role of Minuteman, of freedom fighter, of defending your family, of security for your homestead, security for your group, security for your family, whatever it may be, then you might want to have your stuff. I recommend having your stuff staged, ready to go at all times. And it's gear that you train in and that you use consistently so that you are accustomed to the feel, the weight, how it rides, all the stuff on a regular basis so that it just becomes part of your body. And then also the training aspect of it is that you're using your gear so that you know where everything is without having to stop and look. Oh, there's my holder. There's one of those holders. You don't have to look down. It's immediate, instinctual, all the stuff like that. So set up your kit so it's instinctual. Train with it, practice with it all the time. I think, good question here is, are we at the point where we really got to be mindful of this? Where we really have to be thinking about the fact that we're going to go at any minute. I don't think we're quite there yet, but like I said, it doesn't hurt to have your kit staged and ready to go. Let's talk about kit a little bit. Kit doesn't have to be a plate carrier with plates. It could be a chest rig. It could just be a war belt, battle belt setup, whatever you want to call it, and a defensive tool, a secondary defensive tool, backup, you know. Little pack, day pack. It doesn't have to be all cool guy multi-cam stuff like that. This is just Coyote Tan that I hit with some spray paint just to break it up the shine a little bit, to break up the just the outlines and stuff. And as you can tell, you know, I'm just wearing a regular fleece, like dark brown, and, you know, a ball cap, brown pants. This is one of the, let me go into the little side thing about this concept of use and concept of operations. There are some situations where I might don full camo and be operating that way, but for the most part, I like wearing stuff like this that, yes, I can blend in, yes, I can use natural foliage, yes, I can use my leaf suit or my assaulter's ghillie or my full ghillie for the camouflage aspects of it. But what I like about like that quick donning leaf suit that just kind of goes over everything, or my assaulter's ghillie that is cut out here in the front for, you know, access to all this stuff I need, is the fact that it's easily doffable. You can just throw it off, and then I can take this, set it down, take the carrier off, set it down, take the belt off, set it down, take the pack off, set it down, and very quickly, within, you know, a minute or two, I can be just normal guy, ball cap, you know, fleece, pants, and then I could walk into town and disappear. That's kind of taking a page out of the book of, you know, those people over there in those arid countries where they'll, you know, jump out, take a couple of shots, and then, you know, set it down and just walk into town and disappear. It's a whole gray man approach. If you're all camoed out, you're going to stick out like a sore thumb. You won't be able to walk into town, you know, in full camo. And it doesn't matter what kind it is, unless it's maybe like what I call redneck camo, the civilian camouflage versions, depending on where you live. If you live in the South, or, you know, Texas, or places where people hunt a lot, and rural areas, you probably could just walk into town because, you know, that's acceptable. But you're not going to walk anywhere in the United States in like full multicam. But let's digress back to the point. Do you need to be ready to go at a minute's notice? I advocate yes. Do I think that it's imminent, that it's going to happen? No, I do not. But we don't wait until things go bad as preppers, right? We're proactive, not reactive. Some situations, yes, we are reactive, of course, but we try to be proactive as much as possible so that we can mitigate any of the potential things that might or can or will go wrong. So that's very important. Please, if you're one of the people that is capable of doing this kind of stuff, you have the training, you have the practice, you have the kit, you have the physical ability, meaning the physical proper level of fitness to be able to carry this gear, to patrol, to operate, to fight, to do whatever you need to do in this kind of role, then I definitely advocate, if you're one of those people, or even if you are just the security person for your family, for your homestead, for your group, whatever it may be. Maybe you're not, you know, super physically fit. Maybe you're older. Maybe you're younger. Maybe you're just not that well trained at it. Still have your kit ready to go, because I'll tell you what, so many times have, I think it's like, for example, the Revolutionary War. I'll use this as an example. The majority of the people that fought in the Revolutionary War on the side of the American side were just farmers, bankers, you know, sailors, whatever it may be, farmers, and they learned throughout the process of the war how to fight, and they were trained. They weren't regular soldiers like the British had. And that might have been advantageous in their part also, because regular soldiers, you know, military personnel, are trained in a certain way to fight a certain way. They are reliant upon their supply train. They're reliant upon supportive fire, medical. They're reliant on evac, and they also rely on the manpower, having many more people than possibly required to do the job. Like say the Army, they stack up on a structure to enter it. How many guys are going in? I would say probably at least 8, maybe 12, 16 guys are going in. Maybe less in some situations, but as a prepper group, we don't have those numbers. So we have to think and to train outside the box. We don't have drones running thermal. Well, some people, we might, I'm not saying we don't actually, but we don't have all the technological assets that the military does. So we have to train a little bit differently, is where these little holders here in military may get just dumped on the side and not worried about. And then maybe, think, oh, well, we might, if we get a chance, we'll come back later and pick them up. You can't do that as a prepper SHTF scenario. These things you're not going to be able to source these anymore, probably. So you need to maybe be able to retain them. You also need to be able to have that ability to go gray and disappear into society. Lots of different things about being a Minuteman and being effective as a civilian militarized force that you'll have to think about. This is just kind of skimming the surface on all this stuff. Like I said, I put this stuff on just to show, because we're talking about the topic. Wear your kit, train with your kit, make sure you know how it works, that it works well, that it doesn't fail you when you need it. Make sure that you know everything becomes instinctual for the operation of your systems and your kit. Have it ready, standing by at a moment's notice, just in case, if and or when, I think when is more along the lines of what's going to happen, you are needed. You don't want to be SOL when it goes down. You got to make sure that you're ready to go. So stay strong, get fit, functional fitness at least. Fitness is key. You're going to be doing this kind of stuff, you got to be fit. I love you guys. Please subscribe, hit that thumbs up, share the videos, comment below, and have a wonderful day. And blessings to you and yours.